All right, artists, today we are going to finish up our tint artwork that we started earlier this week. First thing we did was create a texture rubbing on a piece of paper to create this beautiful texture paper. And then you painted a piece of paper with different tints of a color. So you started with one color and gradually added white until you had 4 different colors or 4 different tints of one color. Now we're going to cut some shapes out of this today and glue them on our texture paper to make a ice cream piece of artwork. So to make our ice cream scoops, first thing I'm going to do is start to draw out my ice cream shapes on here. You will have a template at your paper. You will have a template on your table, and this is a little bit more of a popsicle shape, but what we're going to use from this is the top curve of this template. So again, my paper was divided into 4, and I can kind of draw where those folds were so that I know where the different paint colors I did are. I'm going to start by placing my template in the middle of my first color, and I'm just going to trace the top half of this template. So I'm just tracing the top half to get that curve shape. I'm going to add 2 little curves on the side and then connect with a wavy line. And I've got my first ice cream scoop. And I'm going to do that on all of these. I'm trying to be in the middle of my square because that is probably where I painted the most. But you can look at your paper, and if you missed a little square you didn't get to paint, or you didn't paint it all the way, just try to line up your template to get that color as best you can. Now I'm tracing on the back so that my pencil lines don't show. But if you have to trace on the front, that's fine. You just want to make sure to erase those pencil lines. I'm going right over my name because I'm gluing this on my texture paper where I have my name already. Once I'm all done tracing, it's time to cut out. I'm making sure to hold my scissors with my thumb in the small hole, 3 fingers in the other hole. And when I use my scissors, I open and close them very slowly. You'll notice one hand is holding or guiding my paper, and the other hand is only opening and closing the scissors. I move my non-scissors hand around to grab the paper and turn it as I need. My other hand just opens and closes the scissors. I don't want to twist that arm around. When I'm cutting, I keep my elbows tucked in close to my body. It helps give me a little bit more control when I'm cutting. And again, you'll notice that I'm repositioning my hand a lot as I need to help move my paper. So I'm going to cut out all 4 of my ice cream scoops carefully. I can move my scrap paper off to the side. If there's a little bit of white spaces on there, that's okay. Don't worry. So yeah, we're going to cut out all 4, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. All right, now that I have all 4 of my ice cream scoops cut out, it's time to make a cone. These are going to turn into a really tall tower of ice cream, but I need to have a cone for my ice cream to sit on. Now, when we're arranging these on our paper, we're going to start with the darkest color on the bottom, and then you're going to have to figure out which tints go where. So right now I've arranged mine from the darkest color to gradually getting lighter. When I make my ice cream cone, I want to make sure it fits my bottom color. So I'm going to line it up as best I can, and then I'm going to draw a triangle that will be about the same size as the bottom of this first scoop. I'm going to draw with pencil first, and if I need to try a second time, I can just flip it over or erase. When I have the size and shape ice cream cone that I want, I'm just going to cut it out. Again, being careful with how I'm using my scissors. All right, now when I have my ice cream cone and all my ice cream, it is time to arrange them on my paper. I'm going to start with my ice cream cone on the bottom and then do my ice cream scoops from darkest to lightest. Maybe yours are kind of balanced like mine, or you can have them straight up and down across your paper. If your paper is a little bit too big, that's okay. We will trim it later. I'm gonna line mine up in the middle as best I can. All right, so I'm ready to start gluing. When we're gluing today, we're gonna be using our little glue cups. Remember, we take this lid off, but we leave both of those in this container so that the mess stays there. When I'm gluing, I'm gonna glue on the side with pencil, and I'm gonna dip, wipe, and then glue. I only need a little bit of glue. This glue is very strong, so I just need a little bit, and I'm not filling in the whole area. I'm just going along the outside. When I have enough glue on here, I'm gonna put my brush down, put it on my paper, and hold it for about, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. And then I'm ready to start gluing my ice cream. Remember, I'm gonna start with my darkest color first, just a little bit all along the outer edge, dip, wipe, a little bit more down here. It's really important that we wipe our glue brush on the edge of our glue cup so that it doesn't drip across our paper. If it does, that's okay, but we just want to try to be careful. All right, one more. Dip, wipe, and glue. Say it with me. Dip, wipe, and glue. And one more time. Dip, wipe, and glue. All right, artists, I'm gonna finish this step and then show you what to do next. All right, artists, I'm all glued, and now it's time for our final touches. First thing I'm gonna do is look in my crayon bin, and I'm gonna look for a brown or a tan crayon, and I'm just gonna add some details to my ice cream cone. I'm gonna give it the illusion of texture by doing some diagonal lines, and then some other diagonal lines just along the side. And that's gonna make it look a little bit more like a waffle cone. After I do that, if you want to, you have this red paper. It was with your ice cream cone paper at your table, and you can draw a cherry for the top of your ice cream if you want. If I want to add a cherry, I'm gonna draw a circle first. Remember, we always draw the shape before we try to cut it out. And then I'm gonna carefully cut along my pencil line. Add a tiny bit of glue, dip, wipe, glue, and then I can put it on top of my ice cream. With the scrap paper from your ice cream cone, you can even cut a little stem for your cherry if you want by doing a little triangle. And then I can glue that on my paper as well. The last detail that I'm gonna add is using a white crayon from my crayon bin, and I'm just gonna do a small curved line at the top of each of my ice cream scoops, if I can see the top of it. And that's gonna create the illusion of a reflection and make my ice cream look a little bit more shiny and like it's melting. I can do it along the side if I can't see the top of my ice cream, and that's gonna make it look like it's shiny. If you want to, you can use some of the crayons in your bin to add some small details like sprinkles. Maybe I'll add some sprinkles onto my ice cream, just by taking some different colors and adding tiny little dotted lines. After that, we are going to put it on the drying rack and allow our beautiful tint ice cream cones to dry. All right, artists, I can't wait to see your finished artwork. I hope you have a lot of fun finishing your ice cream.